Today we're going to be making a really cute, quick craft. So everything that you need is right in front of you. You're going to need a drill bit. Now I did switch the size out midway through the video. I used a 1/4 inch drill. And then paint. I have 3 different wine corks with different textures to give different effects. Some magnets, a sponge brush for the paint, extra glue for my hot glue gun. I have a cup of dirt I just got from outside, and then little succulents. Now I actually have a dying succulent plant in my living room, and that's where I just pulled these right off of. I just have different kinds so that I can give different effects for the different magnets that we're creating. So the first step is to take your wine cork and decide which side you want to be the top. Now some of these have the same image on both sides, but if they don't, I want to use where the letters would be aligned at the top. So I'm going to take my drill bit and just drill a hole right in the top. It doesn't have to be perfect because once you put the succulent in, you can't really tell if the hole is perfect or not. But I'm just going around, and this is kind of when I figured out that my drill was a little bit too small, so I switched out my drill bit. So I'm just going to speed through this. Just be really careful when you're doing this. And it does make a little bit of a mess, which is why I have a piece of paper towel down. And I'm just going around to clear as much as I can of the middle. You do want the hole to be big enough though so that you can put dirt and the succulents inside, so just be mindful of the size that you're making. Once I'm all done doing this, I'm going to quickly clean up the counter and get rid of all these extra cork pieces because I don't want it to get mixed in with the paint. And then I'm going to start painting. So I'm just going to put each of my paint down on the paper towel because I don't have a paint holder. I have 3 different types that I'm using. I'm just using 2 different kinds of pink and 1 blue-green color. So then I'm going to take my sponge brush and I'm just going to paint the wine cork halfway up. The main thing that I'm focusing on is making sure that the line is as straight as possible, but it's okay if you mess up. You can just use your hand or a baby wipe to get off any of that. And I'm just trying to make sure that I put enough paint on that it covers the stuff underneath. I don't want it to be transparent. So I'm just going to do that same step for the other 2 wine corks. I did notice that the darker colors do cover better, which is probably obvious, but my 2 colors are kind of light. So I ended up adding an extra coat before I did the next step. So for the next step, you're going to take your hot glue gun and just attach the magnet to the back of the wine cork. So I did look at the cork to see where it looks the prettiest, and I put the magnet on the opposite side so that that could be the front. And that's just what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of the wine corks. The next step, once you're all done putting on the magnets, is to put the dirt in the middle. Now this can be a little bit messy, but you can just brush it off or blow it off lightly, whatever works for you. I just used dirt that I had inside of one of my plants outside. So I'm just pushing that in. It also makes for a very good holder for the succulents because if there wasn't anything inside, the succulents would stay, but this just holds it better in place. So the next step is to take your different succulents and to just put them in the top and arrange them in the way that you like best. It doesn't have to be perfect. No matter how you do it, it's going to look super cute. This is what this one looks like once it's all completed. I just love it. It's such a simple craft, but it looks so good once you put it on the fridge. It also makes for a great gift for any holidays, any celebrations. I mean, who wouldn't love to have some succulent wine corks on their fridge? And everybody always has something to hang on their fridge. So I'm just finishing up putting all of my succulents into the wine corks. This is what the second one looks like. And then for my last one, I'm just adding the dirt, adding the succulents, and then I am complete. So I'm going to show you what they look like on the fridge. This is how they look. I love it, and I think it adds a lot of character.